Hi and welcome back. One very vital question is how important is French in France? The first thing that comes to our mind when we think about France or Germany or Spain or any European country is the language. When we think about India, we think about different languages. As per United Nations, there are hundreds of languages in India or dialects. But let's stick to the main question, how important is French in France? Can you survive without French in France? Can you find a job without French in France? Can you live without French in France? So we're going to talk about all these questions in the next 4 to 5 minutes. Number one question, can you survive? The answer is yes. I lived in France for 3.5 years and I still don't speak French. I worked in France for 2.5 years, I still don't speak French. I studied in France in a business school, I still don't speak French. I studied French in first semester and second semester, I still don't speak French. So when it comes to the question of survival or studying or working, yes, it's possible that you can live and work and study and survive well enough in France. You can look at me, I look very happy. So I did that. Now, there are 10,000 Indian students who study in France every year from India. There were 5,000 Indian students who were going to study in France when I went. Now the question is, if one student is getting a job without French, is that enough? Or two students, is that enough? Now the question comes to the point wherein we think about majority versus exceptions. What I recommend to Indian students is learn French. It is going to help you. Is it mandatory? Well, I'm not sure. Or let's say it is not. But is it recommended? Yes, it's highly recommended. There are a lot many Indian students who go to study in France and work there, live there, and do full-time jobs. They have been there for 4 to 5 years. They still don't speak French. But of course, if you live in Maharashtra, let's say for 2 years or 3 years, you pick up some Marathi. I lived in Kerala and I learned Unnarandamunanal, right? And that too in 3 months. So you pick up some language and that is going to help you. So my recommendation is if you're going to study in France or live in France or Germany or Spain, learn the basics. It is going to help you. If you're going to live in big cities, of course, everybody speaks English. In Paris, even the people who are going to beg money, they are going to speak English. So my point is, everybody speaks international languages in mega cities. But what about smaller cities? What about tier 2? What about tier 3? So the question comes back to the same point. When you're going to a business school or fashion school, people are going to speak English there. But when you're going to streets, when you're going to take an Uber, when you're going to book a restaurant, when you're going to a Subway or a McDonald's or KFC, maybe they wouldn't be as much proficient in English as you would expect them to be. So my recommendation would be learn French before you go. There are 6 levels in any language: A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2. Go with A1, because when you go with A1, you're able to order food, you're able to buy SIM card, you're able to book a taxi, right? When I say I still don't speak French, my point is I'm somewhere between A1 and A2 and I'm very happy to be there, because when I go to France, I can probably, speak in local language, exchange a couple of words. And reason why I couldn't learn French, because my entire program was in English, my job was in English. In fact, it involved a lot of Hindi because I was working with Indian students. I still do, although I live in India. But my point is, when you go with French, your life is much more easier compared to somebody who doesn't go with French. So once again, is it mandatory? No. Maybe you can survive there very well. Maybe you can find jobs. Maybe, of course, you would find jobs if you're working on that, because language is not only platform to find job. Many people often complain that, I studied in France, I didn't get a job. But nobody says I studied in France, I didn't get a job because I didn't speak French. They don't say that I didn't have enough skill set. What happens if you study in one of the top IITs or IIMs in India? Does everyone get job? Maybe. Does everyone get 50 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 15 lakhs? This is the question. So when you go to Ahmedabad, the average salary is 20-25 lakhs, highest could be 1 crore. Imagine the lowest, right? So it's not always the language, it's skills. I'm still to meet people who say that I studied in France, I didn't get a job because I didn't have enough skill set. I didn't work hard. Going to a good school doesn't mean you're going to get a job, right? Going to a good school means that you're going to a good school and you're going to be studying with good students from good faculty from across the world. But would everybody be same? Everybody who goes to Ahmedabad, everybody who goes to IIT Delhi, is everybody same? No, because at the end of the semesters, they have a result. Somebody tops, somebody is second, somebody is third, somebody is last. So they're not same. So I'm talking about skill set. If you enhance your skill set, language becomes one tool to enhance the number of chances to get a job, to survive well, but it is not the only factor. So never complain to your own self that I don't speak French, that's why my life is not that good in France. I still don't speak German, that's why I couldn't find a job in Germany. No, there could be hundreds of other factors as well, right? So language is a great tool, enhances your chances brilliantly, but if it is the only tool, I am not sure if it is the only tool for us to complain about our success or failures in life. So I hope this video was very helpful. Once again, summarizing, if you want to study in France, go with basic French. If you want to study in Germany, go with basic German, right? Because that is going to make your life easy, right? That is going to enhance your chances to find internships or jobs once you complete your studies. You'd be studying there for 2, 3, 4 semesters, so you would have enough time, right? So when you go with A1, maybe by the time you graduate, you're A2 or B1, and that's going to help you a lot, right? Even if you're A0, maybe you would be able to find great careers, but again, why wouldn't you enhance your skills? Language is also a part of skill set, right? So I wish you all the best. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me. Take care and keep doing the hard work for yourself, because at the end of the day, it is your life. Do well.